Hello and welcome to the Real Estate Regroup Show. I am your host, LJ Walker, a real estate investor helping you realize your dreams of owning a home or investing in one. Today, I'm going to basically be reviewing how the real estate market did in 2020. As many of you know, we had been hit by a pandemic and it did have some negative effects, but it also had some positive effects in the real estate market. So we're going to basically take a quick overview. My main focus, of course, is going to be in the United States. Later on, I will briefly touch upon what I did find about the international community. Unfortunately, not a lot. Okay, so let's begin. Let's first look at the top 10 real estate markets in 2020. Number 1, Sacramento, California. 2, San Jose, California. 3, Charlotte, North Carolina. That one is not a surprise for me. 4, Boise City, Idaho. 5, Seattle, Washington. 6, Phoenix, Arizona. 7, Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. 8, Ventura, California. 9, Denver, Colorado. And lastly, number 10 is Riverside, San Bernardino, California. Those round out the top 10 real estate markets that did pretty well in 2020. Now, overall, when you look at 46 markets, overall, when you look at the largest areas, 46 markets actually crossed over the recovery benchmark, meaning they went down, there was a dip, but they actually recovered quite nicely. That would be San Jose, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Las Vegas. Now, the cities that unfortunately this week here that remained below the recovery bench line is Oklahoma, Buffalo, Miami, and Memphis. Now, I have hopes for both Miami and Memphis. I do believe that eventually, before this year, 2021 is over, that they will recover. Okay. Now, when you look at housing in demand, the buyer's demand remained strong in the December holidays in these particular markets: Austin, Miami, which I mentioned, Sacramento, San Francisco, and watch out now, believe it or not, New York City. That one actually doesn't surprise me, but I know it's going to surprise a lot of people. But here's the thing: New York pays its healthcare workers the most. It has the best healthcare, well, second best next to Boston in the United States of America. It's a port city, and we have Wall Street, plus it's 24/7. Not too many cities can say that they are 24/7 like New York, okay? And that is one of its big pluses. All right, moving along. When it comes to home price, where the asking price keeps growing, the areas where that has happened is in Austin, Texas, Riverside, San Bernardino, California, New Orleans, Houston, and Portland, Oregon. When it comes to the pace of sales, meaning the time that a home has been on the market, the places where it's been less time would be Los Angeles, Louisville, Kentucky, Virginia Beach, Portland, Oregon, and Las Vegas. Now, when it comes to the housing supply, where sellers were more active in the more expensive markets, The ones that recovered the most would be San Jose, California, San Francisco, Seattle, Boston, and Las Vegas, right? Now, when I looked, that information, by the way, is from realtor.com. So what I did was I then looked over to the migration charts that you would collect when you're looking at moving companies. And according to them, they saw that a lot of states where people left, as many of you know, would have been Illinois, New York, California, New Jersey, and Maryland. And the states where most people moved to was Idaho, Arizona, South Carolina, Tennessee, and North Carolina. So there is some differences, if you will, between their reports and Realtor.com's reports. Where are most foreclosures right now? Most foreclosures are in Florida, Oklahoma, New Mexico, Delaware, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio. Where do I think will definitely recover eventually? Indiana. Why? Because the residents of Indiana, on a whole, have higher credit scores than the rest of the United States. Okay. And then Florida, the reason why I believe Florida will eventually come back up is because it is a primary destination. Many people want to retire in Florida. Many people from other countries immigrate to that particular state. So I do believe that they will come up. And I actually also have a little bit of hope for Delaware, because Delaware is a state where many law firms and lawyers have actually set up shop. And when you need to do certain things, have certain contracts signed, when you need to appear in court, certain things have to be done in person. It can't be done remotely. So due to this, I do believe that Delaware will come back up. Now, internationally, I really wasn't able to get anything as far as 2020. I guess maybe those results have not come in yet. One of the problems that did occur is that due to the quarantine, there were many countries that would not allow Americans to go. There were many countries that stopped travel, stopped cruise ships from coming into their ports, and they also stopped airlines from going back and forth. So the numbers, it'll probably take a while before they actually come in. So what I did do is I looked at the year before, which is 2019. And what it showed was that a lot of people moved to countries such as Colombia, Panama, Portugal, Germany, Turkey, Iceland, and the Netherlands. Now, in my mind, if I were to look at these countries, I know that many people would have definitely moved to Portugal because there's just so much opportunity there, plus the weather is pretty wonderful. Next, I would definitely agree with Colombia, and I wouldn't be surprised if more people were to move down there, because as most people, as many companies are transitioning from having people come into the office to working from home, there are a lot of people who are looking to move to cheaper countries at this particular point. And then the Netherlands, the other reason why I do believe that more people are probably going to be moving there as well is because they have one of the best healthcare systems in the world. So those are some statistics along with my own opinion. Now, when you look at the stock market and you look at tradable REITs, for example, The ones that did the best are those where they invested in either data centers, cell towers, or logistic warehouses. All right. So basically, what I am seeing is that I do believe that the real estate market will recover. However, I do believe that eventually there will be a burst. Normally, the seventh year, which would be this year, right here, 2021, normally real estate goes down. But this pandemic, it's really twisted everything. So it's really hard to predict or say exactly when this recession is going to happen, as far as when the bubble is going to burst. In some ways, I know that earlier I mentioned that it seems as though the recession was already here because I saw so many companies closing, so many people filing for unemployment, and they're still unemployed, and the businesses are still closed down and shut down. But I've also seen where larger companies, they were able to pivot, and they're starting to hire more people. I've also seen where myself and many other people, we did what we could to support small businesses, either by promoting them on the internet or shopping at their stores. And many of those stores and restaurants made so much money last year that they actually opened up shop somewhere else. So they have more than one location. So it's still hard to really, for me, to really put my finger on, what's going on. What I do realize, and what I've known for a long time, is that many of the jobs, the lower paying jobs, they're going to get phased out. And it was even inevitable before the pandemic that many of them are going to be replaced by robotics, if you will, or by a computer. I've already seen this happen in Portugal, because when you go to McDonald's out there, there is no cashier. You have to go to a computer and punch in what it is that you want. But when it comes to the higher level jobs, the technical jobs, more of those are available. When it comes to jobs in warehouses, more of those are available. So it's really not a surprise that data centers, cell towers, and warehouses were the number one REITs that did well last year. All right. So my friends, that's all I have for you tonight. Hopefully this information will help you make smart financial moves. Feel free to pass this along. Remember, each one, reach one, teach one. Bye for now. Until next time, have a good night.